If your data isn't connected, your dealership isn't operating at full speed. Curator brings all your dealership data together to drive better leads, better conversations, and better results. Visit goobagoo.com/curator to learn more.
Hey, it's Daily Drive executive producer Jake Neer. Thanks for joining me for this bonus episode of the show. Earlier this week, Automotive News Ford reporter Michael Martinez spoke with Joey Logano, the three-time NASCAR champion, about his partnership with and ownership stake in Huntersville Ford, a dealership in North Carolina. They talked about why Logano is maybe preparing for life after racing, what he sees as the biggest challenge facing dealers in 2026, and whether he plans to build his own auto retail empire. If you missed the first part of that conversation, you can go back and check out Wednesday's episode. Highly recommend you do that. Here's the rest of our own Michael Martinez's conversation with Joey Logano of Huntersville Ford.
You're into a lot of different things, and you're curious about stuff beyond the racetrack. Wondering if you could speak to that a bit. Where does that come from, and what drives you to do something like get into this business now?
Well, I know at some point, unfortunately, my driving career will come to an end. And the weird thing for an athlete is that happens at usually about the prime as a an executive of some sort, right? Is usually about the same age, right? Around 40-ish, plus or minus a few years. It's usually when a young professional becomes, kind of the top of their game. And as an athlete, that's kind of when you start seeing the decline, right? So it's funny how that works, but I don't plan on being that age and saying, I'm done and I'm going to just go do nothing the rest of my life. Like, that's not who I am. I hate that. I love growth. I'm fascinated with growth and just looking for the next thing, right? How do I keep growing the next thing? I love learning new stuff, and especially things that I'm passionate about. So this is a natural fit, right? From that perspective. I think I just enjoy that type of stuff. I feel like I can bring so much to the table, and it'd be a waste not to use it.
From your perspective, again, recognizing that you're still sort of immersing yourself in the business, what do you see as maybe the biggest challenge moving forward? Maybe not for you personally, but maybe for dealers in general, automotive retail in 2026 and beyond. Are there any particular challenges, you and Stacy are going to need to overcome here?
Well, there's a complex question. What level do you want to start at? Right? It's I think if you look at a micro way of, okay, with our personal dealership, what's this year look like? Well, there's a bit of a rebrand that's going to happen, right? It's kind of how do from a branding perspective apply myself, but also keeping with what Huntersville Ford is known to do, right? How do we make that piece of it better, more of a micro way of like from the marketing standpoint? But I think if you look at the big picture and you look at the economy in general, right, where is it going, right? What's good guess? I don't know who's to know. It changes daily these days. So yeah, I think really what you got to rely on is just good product and good customer care. And if we can take care of the customer side of it, that's our job. I believe is making sure that the customers are happy, that they are treated fairly, that we do good work and to their cars, their vehicles are running the way they're supposed to. That's what we can handle, right? And we got to rely on Ford to make good decisions with vehicles that are coming down the line. So I think those are the two things that we can control, and that's what we need to worry about. Where the economy's going and all that, I don't have the magic buttons to adjust that one, right? You can't control it, so you only worry about the things you can control. And to me, we only can control as a dealership is quality service to the customers. That's the number one thing.
I love asking different GMs and dealer principals this question because I think it gives insight into their personality a bit. If you could call up Jim Farley and wave a magic wand and have him add one product to the Ford lineup that you guys could start selling tomorrow, what would it be and why?
Yeah, I'd say a diverse portfolio is important when it comes to badass cars. And trucks. I think Ford's got everyone covered, right? Like everybody knows that when it comes to trucks and fast cars, Ford's got it covered. When it comes to SUVs, I think they're fantastic. An affordable vehicle, smaller, right? And there is a few, right? I mean, the Maverick's a great truck to start with, but I think maybe having a couple options in that range would probably be good, just to have a more of a diverse portfolio of vehicles. But I still think if you compare it to other OEMs, probably has the most diverse portfolio of vehicles and compared to others.
Coming up, more from Automotive News Ford reporter Michael Martinez's conversation with NASCAR champion Joey Logano.
Your dealership is sitting on mountains of customer data. But when that data is messy and spread across different systems, it's almost impossible to actually use. That's why Gubagoo developed Curator, the automotive industry's first unified intelligence engine. Curator pulls customer data from everywhere: your CRM, DMS, website, even your marketing tools. It cleans it, connects it, and pushes it back into your systems. The result is a complete real-time record of every customer. Let's get to know Alan Telleriato. For nearly 50 years, they've built their business on one simple idea: take care of the customers, and they'll keep coming back. But even with decades of loyalty and data, things were getting messy. BDC manager Seth Stanage puts it best. Customers would reference visits from years ago, but the team could only see the most recent record. Finding the full story meant digging through duplicates across multiple systems. That all changed with Curator. Seth says their marketing data is the best it's ever been thanks to Curator, enabling Alan Tillery to target buyers at just the right moment and making sure they're the first and last dealership those shoppers connect with. The results speak for themselves. Curator collected more than 20,000 data points a week and generated leads that boast a nearly 30% closing rate. Want to see what Curator can do for your dealership? Visit gubagoo.com/curator to learn more.
Well, I know this might be a hard one to answer, but just curious about your future. Are you sort of content with, this partnership at one store? Do you eventually hope to sort of build your own auto retail empire with multiple stores, or how do you think about that?
One step at a time is a quick answer. One step at a time. Again, I'm fascinated with growth, and I could see myself really enjoying this business. I could see myself wanting to grow, but I also understand that I want to walk before I run, and this is a great way to dip my toes into the water a little bit, learn as much as I can. I got great partners with the Kraus Automotive Group. I got a great. I don't know what I want to call Stacy. I sometimes I know he's the manager. I kind of call him my coach at times. Like, I don't really know what I'm supposed to call him. But I got a great helper there, helping me along. Partner. Yeah, okay, that's probably the best thing to say. And so at the moment I'm content with what's going on. But you never know, down the road there may be other opportunities to do more, right? And the goal would be to all grow together, right? That would be the ultimate goal. If things are working well, like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. But we can just keep growing, and that would be great. But at this moment, we got to tackle the first giant in front of us, and then see where we're at after that.
So that's really most of the questions I wanted to ask. I'm wondering if there's anything else you want to say about the business, about the Krauses, about Stacy, or anything else you want me to know.
I think it's mainly that it's been enjoyable for me, and I've really taken that as something really exciting to see the other side of the car world. I feel like I've seen it as a customer, I've seen it as a race car driver, but I've never seen it from the retail side before, and that's been pretty fun to get to learn. But even more importantly, the relationships that I've built over the last year are some really good people. And I think that's been probably the things that you take with you at the end of the day that matter the most, right? Is the relationships you build and being able to help each other and to again grow together. That's been something that's been pretty special, right? Whether it's, like you said, working with my partner Stacy, even getting to know Zach and Vernon better, and working from seeing how their business is obviously pretty big. So learning how that all side of it works and how they operate has been very interesting to me as well. So it's been fun to kind of learn that. They do it top notch. They're very detailed, which is great, right? Because I'm coming from that, right? When I drive for Team Penske. So as you can imagine, Roger is like, everything is a certain way. and the Kraus Automotive Group is very, very similar. To everything is done a certain way. Everyone acts a certain way. Their expectations are super, super high. That's why the partnership, I feel like, is going to work, because we all agree that we want to be the best, right? It's not, we're not there to collect a paycheck and walk away. We're there to be the best. That might be the competitive fire in me, but the goal is to win, to be the best there is out there, be the best dealerships we can be. So, that's with the same attitudes and perspectives on what we want. That's how I know this will be a winning relationship.
You mentioned it earlier, but I was just thinking you really are sort of taking that, win on Sunday, sell on Monday phrase
Yeah.
literally, right? Like that's the goal.
One step deeper. Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then I guess just a last one quickly, and I apologize, I don't know how, advertising contracts and things work of that nature, but with the racing season coming up, I mean, are we going to see a Huntersville Ford cap or jacket? Are you able to, throw something on the track or around the track?
I technically cannot do that on the track. Yeah, obviously there's Ford branding all over our race cars. We race a Mustang, so we do that. There'll be definitely branding at the dealership, especially obviously Joey Logano branding and some stuff that way. But as far as on the car, at the moment there is no plans of that. But I think everyone will know, as especially after they see your interview, that's going to be the big moment, right? Everyone's going to know that we're a part of it, and there'll definitely be some social backing and some other marketing collateral that'll also tell the story.
Thanks for listening to this bonus episode of Daily Drive. Come back on Monday for a brand new full episode of the show.